Hi, and welcome to Rowlett on the Water on the Move. I'm Mayor Todd Gottel.
And I'm Lynda, City Manager.
This show is produced entirely by city staff and can be seen on Rowlett's own television network, RTN 16. You can also visit us on our YouTube channel and streaming video on rowlett.com. Lynda, we've got a great program again today.
Yes, we
have
do.
a lot to talk about. And topics, we're going to start off, we're going to talk about a little bit about the drought, and that's affecting all of us. We're going to talk about the latest update on Realize Rowlett 2020 and our exciting holiday events and other events that are upcoming in the city. We've got the winners of the Arts and Humanities Photo Contest and much, much more. So let's get started with the news, shall we?
Okay, you bet.
Let's talk about the drought. You and I did a program last month. We were on the lake bed, basically, and it certainly hasn't gotten any better.
No, it hasn't. In fact, there's been some news stories recently on the local media indicating that the North Texas Municipal Water District is concerned that they may run out of water. I saw a news story very recently, and it is certainly cause for concern. The district is aggressively attempting to determine new water sources, but all of that costs money and it takes time. You know, Mayor, one of the things that we did recently was we presented to Council the Stage 3 drought contingency plan that the City of Rowlett has recently adopted. And there are a couple of things that are important to note for folks, and that is that the goal of Stage 3 is a 10% reduction in water use, and it's really an increased awareness and ongoing water conservation efforts. And what that really means is this. The ordinance will allow you to water once a week. And when I say water, that's obviously your yard. And one of the reasons that it's important for us to focus on that particular aspect at this particular time of the year is people typically quit watering their yard in the winter months, and this is the time of the year the weather temperatures change. It's certainly not as hot. What rainy season we're going to get typically is this time of year. So I anticipate that most people will just be able to meet the conservation measures by doing what they would be doing anyway this time of year. The real challenge for us, I believe, is in the spring, in the summer of next year, when we start going into the seasons when it's getting hot, it gets more dry, and folks want to water the yard, and there won't be as much water availability, and things are going to get really tough then. So to this point, we had not participated in any conservation efforts. And the reason for that is our residents do a fabulous job when you analyze the data on a per capita basis anyway. So we want people to be mindful of the fact that we need to conserve water and start making better choices now, because in the spring and the summer it's going to be serious unless Mother Nature treats us more kindly than she's been doing and we see something different. Some tips that we want to offer to you is to run the dishwasher only when full. Replace the shower head in your showers with a water efficient model. Don't waste water when brushing your teeth or washing your hands. Shut off the water until it's time to rinse. Check your sprinkler heads regularly to make sure they're working properly. Install rain shutoff devices and adjust sprinklers to eliminate excess water on pavement. You know, for more ideas on conservation and what Stage 3 means, we have provided additional information on our website. We would encourage you to visit the North Texas Municipal Water District's website at www.ntmwd.com.
Well, we have done, as you mentioned, our citizens have done an outstanding job with water conservation. I know they'll continue to do that. We just need to further do our part and conserve where we can, because this is a very serious issue. And for those that watched the program last month, to see us standing down there in that lake bed, I really think, frankly, hit home for me. It's one thing when you drive by it and you go, wow, it's really low, but it's another thing you're standing down there and we're probably 6 or 7 feet below what the lake would normally be when it's full. So,
you know, Mayor, another idea for folks to think about is water conservation and how significant this could be for us as a region. really falls under planning for emergencies, whether it's what would you do in the event of a fire, what would you do in the event of a tornado. A really good exercise for families to begin to do is how can they conserve water. Aggressively conserve water, and that is, you know, turning the faucet off when you're brushing your teeth. When do you fill your swimming pool? You don't do that in the heat of the day during the summertime. You ought to do that in the evening. Those types of things, and it's just a good exercise to begin to think about the personal choices that we can make, because I really do believe, Mayor, we're going to have some really difficult conversations as we move into the spring and summer. This is a really serious situation.
Well, and my kids remind me all the time. We have these discussions about water conservation, and part of it has to do, I think, with training, meaning that when you're educated on what minor steps you can do to conserve water, you know, they're the types of things that really make a big difference. And my son tells me all the time, we're in there brushing our teeth in the morning, and he reaches over and turns the faucet off. Now, I grew up where he just let the faucet run. And I'm just being honest, and I'm sure there are many of us out there that are watching that do the exact same thing. He goes, Dad, turn the water off. You're not using it. And I've gotten to the point now where I start reaching to turn the faucet off. But part of it is it's just a habit that I have.
That's right.
And used to running the water. And the same with the bathtub. It's the same with the shower. It's amazing what a shower head can do that conserves water. It can provide the same level of pressure. It just reduces the amount of water that you use. And even the bathtub, why does it have to be this full? Can you get away with a few inches less? It does make a big difference. So
That's true.
no, absolutely. Well, of course, again, for more information, you can go to www.ntmwd.com. So let's move on to our next part of our next topic, which is Realize Rowlett 2020. We have gone through our phase one. We've done an excellent job. This is our visioning process, and I will tell you that you know, we've gotten a tremendous amount of citizen input. There's a lot of excitement in the community, and we're really ready to move on to phase two.
Yes, we recently had a joint meeting between the City Council and P&Z, and really what we're attempting to do is to lay out the process and the format for phase two. And I think that there is a very solid commitment going forward, as there was in the past, to engage our citizens where appropriate. One of the things that came from phase one is the city's focus on the undeveloped areas in the city of Rowlett. And there are roughly 4 that we're focusing on. And I would like for folks to, if you haven't already go to our website and look at the areas that have been identified in phase one of Realize Rowlett 2020. In the months to come, we're going to be focusing on areas along the turnpike, specifically the Signature Gateway, which for many years has been known as the Waterfront District, downtown area that we're calling our Old Town area. We have an area as you come into Rowlett from Rockwall along 66 around our hospital district that we're focusing on. That's our healthy living area. We have an area also along the lake that's lakeside living, that's just probably north of the split where Dowell Rock turns into Princeton Road. And then we're also focusing along an area on Liberty Grove right at the turnpike called Woodside Living. And in those specific areas, we're going to be engaging the property owners, the residents and businesses that live close to those areas, and we very much want your input. We very much want you to take this journey with us as well. We recognize that the downtown area is personal to a lot of us that live in Rowlett. We all feel passionate about downtown for various reasons. So that's an area that we're going to focus on, we're going to do separately, and we're going to do a lot of citywide engagement because a lot of folks identify the city of Rowlett with its downtown area. So in the months to come, we have a very aggressive time schedule. We have a commitment that we're going to engage our citizens. We hope that you will participate. We're going to actively remind you that you need to participate in hopes that you will come out. But over the next 9 months, Mayor, I know what the council is going to be doing in Planning and Zoning Commission as well. We have a lot of meetings scheduled. I so appreciate the commitment of the City Council and P&Z to do the time necessary to make this work. work. We, I think, can all agree that for the last 44 years we've been in the wait mode for PGBT. For the last 27 years we've been in the wait mode for the DART light rail. Well, within the next year both are going to be here and really going to change the way the city of Rowlett looks to itself as well as how it looks to the region. And I use the analogy, it's like the dog that caught the car. Now what? We've been waiting forever for it to happen, and now that it's here, what does that look like? And I have said numerous times and will continue to do so, our past has given us a great gift, and that is a serious vision to what we want it to be. And now that that vision has come, we owe to our future the same gift we've gotten from our past. And that's why I believe everybody is very committed to Realize Rowlett 2020 and being willing to put in the time, because, Mayor, as you well know, there's really only one answer that will work for us from our citizens, and that is the development was worth the wait.
Well, and we've said this again and again, and you stressed it on this show too. We have one chance to do it right. We've got
That's
one
right.
shot.
That's
and
right.
we need to make sure that we do our absolute best to make sure that we get it right.
That's right.
And the citizen involvement component, you know, I can't talk about this enough, but there really is no excuse when citizens say, I just didn't know. You and your staff have done an outstanding job, and we are trying to make every possible measure to make sure that we reach out into the community to make people aware of these different projects and get their input. Their input is critical. I mean, we come up with a lot of great ideas because of our citizens, and so when we begin really this second phase, we really are going to want our citizen input, especially in the downtown area. And as our Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Kilgore always said, we're going to create the downtown that we've never had.
That's right.
And so I really like that statement, because when you look at our downtown, we have a lot of great history that's there, and how do you capture some of that but really expand on that and create the community along the DART rail that's going to be really transit-oriented type development.
You know, another piece to phase 2 of Realize Rowlett 2020 is we're going to be changing our codes.
That's
We're
right.
going to go to a form-based code, and the City Council is really passionate about this, because what I believe all of us have come to appreciate is form-based codes are critical to create a sense of place. It is that element that makes the communities that we've looked at, that we're hearing from our communities that we want to be, and that sense of place is the physical space, the public space, the benches, the awnings, how it feels when you walk down the sidewalk, how it feels when you drive down the street, how it feels when you're on your bicycle. And so it's really a different way you design the process, and that is a really significant departure from the way we're currently doing things.
And that goes back to the one shot to do it right.
That's right.
We are so committed to this that we're talking about developing form-based codes in those specific areas, which
That's right.
which will give us the product that we're looking for. And I know there's a lot of misinformation out there. That's one thing I hate, is misinformation. And a lot of people are, you know, a rumor starts and then it grows its own set of legs and off it goes. And we really want to get the involvement from the citizens and make sure that we have the codes in place to make sure we get the type of development that we're looking for long term. It's really important.
Well, it is, and one of the things that we're doing to begin to educate not only ourselves but the public is we have form-based code videos on this particular subject currently being shown on Rowlett Television Network 16 at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. every day for the month of November. And so I would encourage citizens to go out. When you say, what are y'all talking about? Well, we appreciate that it's a vernacular of its own, and we're also learning what the terms and things sound like and look like. And so we would encourage you to go out there and watch that. If you don't have well, let me say it this way. If you're watching this, chances are you're seeing it on RTN 16. But if you're watching it through streaming video and you don't have access to RTN 16, it is available on our streaming video segment of our website. If you are watching this and you want your neighbors to see it and they don't have cable, please direct them to the website, because the intent here is for all of us to take the journey ourselves. There's going to be a lot of public meetings. I can't say that enough, but I strongly encourage everybody to participate, see what it's all about, because Mayor, you're exactly correct. It's important that we make this journey with good information, not incorrect information.
Well, and what I like about the form-based codes, and you talked about the benches, you talked about the awnings, you talked about a lot of that stuff. You know, it's not just go in and paint it brown, and you go, and then you come back and go, oh, not that color brown. We're going to make it very specific to the point of exactly what we want painted, what color we want it painted, how it's going to look, and it takes a lot of time to be able to do that. And I'm using that very simple example, but that's really what form-based codes is really about. So the end product is the exact product that we're looking for.
That's right.
And so I know there are a lot of developers that do that. There are a lot of cities across this metroplex today that currently have form-based codes in, and many of those cities I hear citizens talk about all the time and say, why can't we be more like that? So now we've got some, I guess, sad news, at least from my perspective. You know, I love to celebrate, and I love an opportunity to celebrate. And unfortunately, our the PGBT celebration has been delayed, and I know a lot of it has to do with NTTA not being able to give us a date.
You know, that's true, and we've talked over the course of the last year on this program that staff has been working very diligently with the North Texas Turnpike Authority, TxDOT representative, Commissioner Cantrell's office, and the cities of Garland and Saxe to plan a regional celebration for the opening of PGBT. In fact, we've been working on it since November of 2010. However, the closer we get to December, the less solid the date is that we have from NTTA. In fact, we don't have a date. And the shorter that window goes, the less likely we would be able to plan a celebration worthy of the opening of something that we've waited 44 years for. So the decision has been made that the Turnpike's not going anywhere when it gets here, that we will do a celebration in the early spring, and we will have a concert, we'll have fireworks, and we'll certainly do it upright. But the Turnpike's not going anywhere, Mayor. And while we would love to do it and take advantage of the opening day and all of the economic development opportunities that we believe could be associated with such a day, with folks coming to be one of the first that rides the Turnpike and the novelty of that concept, we're going to hopefully be able to plan a celebration where those folks would come back and see what makes Rowlett unique. Because the one thing is true, that you do love celebrating in Rowlett, but the one thing that we hear from all of our visitors that come to those celebrations is, wow, this is really cool. This is the kind of community that I want to live in, and the Main Street celebrations are one of the things that really is unique to Rowlett and helps capture the essence of the small town feel, the sense of community that we all enjoy having here in Rowlett and celebrating. So we'll work for an opportunity that we can do in the spring and encourage those folks to come back.
Well, and I do want to say officially, I introduced it with a smile, but I am very disappointed. I am, it is a little discouraging that you've waited this long for it and you can't get a project completion date. It's amazing when I look at like DART as an example and how well organized and that they are, and what a large organization they are as well. And we already have a date for the DART opening already.
Yes,
and that's
we do.
December 3rd.
2012.
December 3rd, 2012. That's
Y'all
correct.
mark it on your calendar, because the president CEO, Gary Thomas of DART, announced publicly at a meeting that the mayor and I were at not too long ago that they have officially set the start date for rail activity in the city of Rowlett, December 3rd, 2012. I've already marked it on my calendar with gold stars.
Oh, I'm excited. So, and I know they won't miss that date, so that's really good. So let's talk about Scenic Point Park. We've got several parks under development right now. Scenic Point Park is really, in my opinion, one of the gateways to our community. They have a park on the Rockwall side. We really don't have anything on our side, but we do have park land, and we've appropriated some money from bond money that we have. And why don't you talk a little bit and tell us about some of the things that are going on over there?
Well, just to give people a point of reference, what we call the 2-mile bridge that connects Rockwall and Rowlett on Highway 66 is the 2-mile bridge. And on the Rowlett side of that, we have parkland in the take area along the lake designated for Scenic Point Park. And really, as a part of the Realize Rowlett 2020 Phase 1, we came to see the Scenic Point Park in a little different light. One of the things that we heard from our residents and those that participated in the process is that we needed to embrace the lake. It is one of the things that really makes Rowlett unique, and there are very few places in the city that you can engage with the lake. And Scenic Point Park offers that opportunity for us. And what we see is it is an entertainment destination, entertainment in this venue as being recreation. And so we really went through a very detailed process to hire a consulting firm that would help us design Scenic Point Park to do that for us, to embrace the lake and be that recreational opportunity. So we went through a process, and the firm that we hired was Lynda Studios. And the thing that impressed me most about Lynda was their team came out and spent the night in the park. Spent the night in the park. And when I asked them, why did you do that? They said, well, we wanted to understand the park at all hours and times of the day and evening. We wanted to see the sunset on the lake. We wanted to see the sunrise on the lake and how that interacted and all of that, so that they could really understand the magic that we already know exists with the Scenic Point Park. So we're very excited about this. We are going to be hosting a public meeting on November 19th as a part of the Holiday Parade and Festival at the Rowlett City Hall. And there's going to be an interactive display. And so if you and your family participate every year in the Holiday Parade, park your chair out on the curb while you're waiting on the parade to get here, please come into City Hall. We're going to have opportunities to get your input and engage what you would like to see in that park, because it has the potential to be extraordinary. So everybody, please mark your calendar for November 19th, and there'll be more information in the days to come on the website about times and so forth. But we intend to capture the great crowd that comes to downtown every year to participate in the process. So, and the best way I can describe it is it's like going to the state fair and going through some of the exhibit halls and being able to engage, and you just walk through and provide your input. And we're going to have a video. We're going to have that rolling nonstop. So when you come in, you can sit down and watch the film, just like when you go to the Bob Bullock Museum or some of the museums in Fort Worth. You'll be able to watch that feature film and then be able to engage with the staff at the various opportunities to seek your input. So we're intending for it to be interactive, be informative, and be something that you can do on a come and go basis, because the most important thing about that day is hearing from you.
Well, and I will tell you, for those that have not been down to the park, and I know you and I have both been down there. I've been down there on a separate occasion. First off, I've walked the bridge. 2 miles is a long walk, I'll tell you that, because what you realize, and I'll tell this very, very quick story, but you park on one side and you walk, and then you go, oh, I got to walk back. So it's really 4 miles.
That's right.
So it is a very, very long walk. But I had an opportunity also to go down in that park area, and it is not just piece of land. I mean, it really is a fabulous piece of land. It's, it's not just some property along the lake. There is actually like a little beachfront area that's there. There are some ponds, it looks like, that are in that area, and it's very easy to catch that vision.
Yes,
and you're absolutely right. With the folks that we hired to actually do the development work on the park, I was really impressed when you told me they went down and spent the night in that park. It's really about capturing the true essence of that by staying the evening there.
And we appreciate that a lot of our citizens haven't been to the park for a lot of reasons, won't go to the park, but Drew Rist, our producer of the show, recognized that and has been working with the Lynda team and has done a lot of video work in the park. And he's putting together a documentary, if you will, to take you on the tour of the park from a video perspective, so you can see its beauty without actually having to go down there and engage in that, Mayor. So I think there will be a lot of information in the days to come on Scenic Point Park, so please stay tuned.
That's great. So we're going to go to and then a commercial break, and coming up next is our lifestyle segment.
I couldn't believe this happened to our family.
Why aren't people screaming from the rooftops that this is dangerous?
Because someone made one stupid mistake. I'm an only child.
I said, you've got to stop this. I said, you're going to have a wreck.
Hello, I'm Officer Lisaras with the Rowlett Police Department, and many times I've responded to the scene of a motor vehicle accident and discovered during the investigation that the primary reason of the crash was a distract driver. Don't be another statistic. Texting and driving just isn't worth it.
And we are back with our lifestyle segment. Let's start off by talking about Arts and Humanities Photo Contest, Lynda. What an outstanding group of citizens. I will
really
tell you,
was.
I'm amazed at the talent. We did our board and commission interviews. We have art and humanities photo contests. We have writing contests. Every time we have something that involves the citizens and then they have to participate, I always walk away and go, wow, it is absolutely outstanding. And so the theme this year, the contest was actually open to everyone in the Lake Ray Hubbard area, professionals, amateurs, people of all ages. And the theme this year was Playful City, USA. So people, places, and things. And it was amazing. I look at the pictures and go, where did they capture this picture from? Because there are many cases you and I would walk right by and someone takes it a certain angle and they do an outstanding job. So first place of each category and best of show winners were presented their award checks on October 18th at the 2011 City Council meeting. And the winners are...
Well, the people was Chris Kilgore, and you can see the picture of his granddaughter. That is just about the cutest thing. To be able to capture the expression, they call her Little P, and to just capture the essence of the joy she had in that sippy cup with that straw. You just can see the sheer delight all over her face.
And they adore, I would love to be the grandchild there because they spoil her rotten. But that photo, when I saw the photo, really captured the essence of sort of happiness and summer and all combined into one.
Absolutely.
And they did an outstanding job.
And Cheryl Thompson won the contest on places, and you can see it's a picture of a hot air balloon. And what struck me about that particular photo is the color combination and the visual. It seemed happy to me when I saw that picture. The Things contest was won by Claudia Holt, and she told a great story about capturing the birds flying over Lake Ray Hubbard and the real spontaneity of the moment. And sometimes the professionals take great pictures because they got an eye. The amateurs get lucky, and I don't know whether Miss Holt was a professional or an amateurish, but whether it was luck or skill, it was a beautiful picture of the birds.
And you don't tell the birds, hold on just a second while I get the light right. I mean, that really is spontaneity. And so I'm sure she probably took a lot of pictures, but that one was really outstanding.
And then Diane Herman won Best in Show, and you can tell from the sleeping cat on the bench, he was getting him a good snooze.
Yeah, it was outstanding. To all of our folks that participated, thank you very, very much. All the photos were on display at the library. We had the winning photos, of course, with the award recipients at the council meeting, but we want to thank everyone for participating.
You bet.
It's hard to believe, but Veterans Day is almost here as well. We actually have our Veterans Day ceremony. It's going to be held on November 11th, 2011 at 4:30 at Veterans Park. That's a wonderful park, Lynda. We've done an outstanding job with that. And as a matter of fact, I want to have an opportunity to thank our Keep Rowlett Beautiful. They've installed a brand new gazebo there. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's actually the process is just being put up, and that's going to be at the ceremony.
Yeah, and Veterans Park had a master plan developed when it was originally designed, and the gazebo really is a great place for folks that during the course of a year want to go to Veterans Park for reflection, to either mourn the loss of a loved one that has ultimately given the greatest gift to us as a country that they can give, and that is their life. Or those that just want to go back and reflect on their time in the service. Whatever that needs to be for you, the gazebo is there to do that. And we really do appreciate the gift that Keep Rowlett Beautiful has provided to us. And it's a wonderful opportunity for us to recognize and honor our veterans. We do that a couple of times a year, Veterans Day being one, Memorial Day being another, but I don't think we do it often enough, and we can say it often enough, how much we certainly appreciate and thank those that serve our country, have served our country, or have given their life as the ultimate contribution to our country, and we owe all of them a huge debt of gratitude.
We absolutely do. And again, that's going to be on November 11th at 4:30. So we ask that you come and join us. It should be a really great afternoon.
You bet.
Our holiday festival and parade is coming up. It's really hard to believe this. Every year we have our holiday parade sponsored by the Noon Exchange Club, and then we have our holiday festival. That's going to be a downtown Rowlett again. We love closing off Main Street. It's really a sense of community. I know it depends on if you're driving on it or not, I guess.
Mayor. We do that a lot.
Believe me, as soon as I'm out of office, they're never shut that thing down again. But seriously, that's on. And that's going to be on November 19th, 2011, and that runs from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Main Street comes alive with children's activities, food, music, photos, Santa, and fun. Make sure you grab your seat early because we have a lot of people that participate in this event. And so bring your lawn chairs, bring your blankets, but it should be a really great afternoon. And we want to thank the Noon Exchange Club's 25th annual holiday parade on Main Street.
And I want to remind folks something we just talked about. As you grab your seat to mark your spot, be sure and come back into City Hall and participate in the Scenic Point Park process as you grab your seat and participate. But it is the Noon Exchange 25th annual parade on Main Street. And for those that would like to participate in the parade, there are entry forms, and you can be downloaded at the www.rowlettexchangeclub.org.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Should be
Absolutely.
a lot of fun. And then our 2011 Light Up Main Street is coming as well. Our Light Up Main event is going to be on Saturday, December 3rd. That runs from 5 to 8 p.m. So it just starts to get dark, and we're going to start at dusk. And our holiday tree lighting is part of that event as well. We're going to have choirs, parades of costumes, pictures with Santa, and much, much more.
Yeah, and I want folks to know that we have partnered with a local firm that's made up of some Rowlett citizens that we're going to have actual lightings or lights set to music this year. We are creating what I hope is the beginning, not the end, of really enhancing downtown as a destination for folks that want to go see Christmas lights. And so we're going to be kicking off in front of the library. Lighting set to music, got a couple of songs, and what we're going to be doing over the course of the next year is engaging with the business community in hopes of challenging them to sponsor additional activities as a part of the lighting, with the vision that we can become a destination over the next couple of years, that folks that want to come to downtown to see the great lights in Rowlett. And we're starting small, obviously. We are very mindful of the tough economic times that we have, but we've been able to partner with some citizens that live here. They're very creative, very talented, that are donating some additional time and energy above what we have paid for to really set the tone for this year. So we encourage people that think they've been there and done that to come out and do it again, because it'll be a little different this year and be pretty exciting.
Well, Christmas tree, anytime you see, anytime you have a tree lighting, anytime you have holiday lights out, people love to turn out for that. I see people driving around to look at holiday lights every night during the season, and there's nothing better, I think, than going down Main Street, and especially if it's all lit up like that, I think will be a really good feature this year as well. Now, we can't forget our Rowlett Needy Children's Fund this time of the year either. They provide a really invaluable service to our community. We're going to have a food and toy drive for them as well. And so we ask that you bring a can of food or a toy with you to the parade, and you donate that. And the same with the tree lighting as well.
You bet.
We would love to have that opportunity. You can bring your toy into City Hall and drop it off during the parade, but for the tree lighting, we ask you bring your food as well, because there are a lot of folks that are a lot less fortunate than you are. That are in need this time of the year. We still have a lot of people out of work, and we don't want to forget them in our thoughts and prayers.
Well, let's move on to your favorite subject, Mayor. Yes, he's grinning.
Wait, move over. I'm
He's
taking the whole
grinning.
camera for this one. I have waited 4 years now.
Yes, you have. Extended hours at the community center. Why don't you tell us
Can I say
about
that?
it? Yes, you
Extended hours at the community center. No, but seriously, folks, we have really listened to you. This is something I have been very passionate about, and a lot of it has to do with the understanding the people in our community. I think one of our biggest assets is the community center. If you haven't been there, we have a beautiful workout facility. We have racquetball courts. We have basketball courts. We have meeting rooms. It is just a terrific facility, and we have a lot of folks that frequent it. But we are going to be extending the hours of the community center to better fit the needs of our citizens beginning October 1st. And the community center extended its hours. It's going to run through the end of December. hopefully longer. Wink in here, but it's really a test period, Lynda, and we've talked about that, and we're open Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sundays from 12 noon to 6 p.m.
And I do want to expand on why it is a pilot program. You know, one of the challenges that council has given us as staff is to really reduce the subsidy of our park programs from the general fund. And the way that we will do that is by increasing revenues, offering programs that you, the citizens, want to participate in, want to utilize. And the reason for the test case is if it costs us more money than it generates in revenue, it isn't worth doing. And so all kidding aside, this is a test period. We hope it works. We would like for it to work, but it needs to pay for itself and at least be revenue neutral. Our goal is really to increase revenue so that we can meet the challenge that council has given staff, and that is to reduce the subsidy from the general fund for these park programs. So if these hours are important to you, you need to participate in them, because this test program will set the tone whether or not we continue, and we're going to make that decision based on real data and real usage. So if it's important to you, it's real important that you come during the hours that are being extended and offered, so that we have good data from which to make future decisions from.
Yeah, we absolutely do. And talking about memberships, they couldn't be more affordable. Our community memberships run about $10 a month for an individual, and it's really not a whole lot more than that for a family. You know, you can pay monthly if you want to pay monthly, but it couldn't be more affordable. If you go to one of the fitness clubs, you're typically between $30 to $50 a month, and we offer a lot of the same services, maybe not as many that are fitness related, but our community center fits the needs of a lot of our citizens, and it's a great way. And especially with the holiday coming up, you want to lose a few pounds to not only to look good, but then you can eat extra during that time. It's really a good time to stop by and visit our community center for more details. You can also go to Rowlett.com for more information as well. And we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
I'm Assistant Chief Lamar Evans with the Rowlett Police Department, and I'm here to talk to you today about our community policing efforts here in the city of Rowlett, Texas since 2009. Since the economic downturn of the United States economy, which occurred in 2008, the Rowlett Police Department has had to reduce its operating budget and institute force reductions in order to balance the budget and maintain core police services. The solution was to embrace community policing and problem-oriented policing. We anticipated traffic management problems arising from construction of the President George Bush Turnpike and the Dallas Area Rapid Transit Light Rail System, as well as reducing property crime offenses. The department develops meaningful relationships with the community through the field divisions of the department: community services, patrol, traffic, and criminal investigations, by engaging the public through routine programs and activities and seeking input as to their problems and needs of the community. Community services, with the overall mission to improve neighborhood quality, is proactive in developing relationships and working with other field divisions within the department in order to solve problems effectively and efficiently. This is done through ongoing programs such as Neighborhood Crime Watch, a proactive code enforcement program, National Night Out, and meetings with homeowners associations. The Code Enforcement Unit works closely with home and business owners in the education of city ordinances in order to obtain voluntary compliance. In 2010, 15,000 code violations were identified with a 95% compliance rate. The phrase adopted by the city, "Everyone is a code officer," represents the idea that all employees take ownership by identifying and reporting city ordinance violations in order to improve residential properties, increase their value, and ultimately reduce crime. The Patrol Division engages the community through their attendance at Neighborhood Crime Watch meetings, which occur in their area of assignment. Officers provide information and seek input from residents as to problems in the area and apply problem-oriented policing techniques to resolve the issue. Officers are empowered to identify problems, conduct analysis, and formulate a response to solve the problem. The Traffic Division deploys assets where traffic problems exist through their own observation or in response to community needs identified by the citizens. The unit analyzes reported accidents and works to provide additional enforcement, focusing on accident contributing factors or locations where accidents occur frequently. The unit works with city engineers to ensure efficient traffic flow and effective signage to keep citizens abreast of change in road configuration. In order to be proactive in the reduction of property crimes, the department utilized problem-oriented policing techniques to address root problems of the crime using the SARA model: scanning, analysis, response, and assess. Problem-oriented policing is emphasized during initial hiring and even promotions.
POP doesn't always involve a criminal offense or criminal activity. It can be an issue that affects the community or the city. Keep in mind that the whole idea of POP is when the police department locates a problem and tries to eliminate it by using long-term methods rather than addressing the problem report after report. In my POP, I found that the parking lot at Springfield Park needed to be extended in order to eliminate accidents, complaints, and to allow the fire department to get in and out of the parking lot safely and effectively. Using the resources within the city of Rowlett, I was able to come up with a solution solving this issue at a reduced cost to the city by utilizing materials donated by local businesses.
Property crime reduction initiatives, which consisted of an aggressive code enforcement program, an aggressive crime prevention program, aggressive patrol initiatives to specifically impact the occurrence of crimes against property. This overall departmental effort reduced property crime by 9.3% in 2010. Traffic management initiatives to mitigate the impact on traffic safety and efficient traffic flow from President George Bush Turnpike and Dallas Area Rapid Transit construction consisted of analyzing traffic accidents and focusing enforcement efforts on contributing factors. These efforts, along with working alongside stakeholders to identify potential problems and solutions, resulted in a reduction of accidents by 11%. The philosophy and practice of community policing is integrated into the department's overall service delivery, beginning with the vision and mission statement. The vision statement, community first, every time, begins the journey where the department recognizes that the community of Rowlett is our customer and the most important stakeholder, and mandates that the department is fundamentally organized and operates to fulfill this vision. The mission statement further supports the department's commitment to community policing and problem-oriented policing by saying, we are committed to providing exceptional services to the community at every opportunity through adherence to our core values, including innovative problem solving, providing educational opportunities, aggressive crime prevention, and forging partnerships.
Well, welcome back. I want to talk to you just a moment about a couple of special features that we're going to be airing in the month of November to feature several things operationally. The first is a year-end wrap-up video, and really, I guess the topic of that is fiscal year 2010 in review. It's hard to believe that another fiscal year has come and gone, but our fiscal year runs October 1st through September 30th. And you've heard me talk many times about the operational work plan that the organization focuses on so that all of the many moving pieces that we have in our city fall forward, moving in the same direction, if you will. On November 1st, we will have given Council an update of all of the great things that happened in fiscal year 2010. And just to give you some examples, we did the entire Realize Rowlett 2020 Phase 1 campaign that you've heard us talk about many, many times, and all of the opportunities that we had to engage with the public. We did the Rowlett My Community, My Money, My Choice with all of the various small groups and community meetings. I think there were about 30 that were held. We had a number of public processes where we talked about the Toller Road safety concerns with those residents, and we met with the residents of Dexham Estates and Ridgecrest to talk about their vision for what they would like for Katy Park. We have already started the construction on resolving the upper pressure water concerns that we have for the lakes of Springfield and those folks that live off of the Hickox area. We've worked through a parks master plan, just to name a few. So the feature in November will be a summary of all of the great things that we have, because what I hope that you walk away from that after watching that as a citizen, that you've got great staff working on your behalf. And I hope that at the end of that presentation that you believe you're getting great value for your tax dollars, because I am always amazed at the end of the year looking back at the great work that we were able to collectively do. And it's all of us working working together, staff having to do their part, council doing their part, and citizens doing their part, participating in the public process, coming to the meetings. And we have another great year that we want to talk to council about on the 1st, and then explain to you in that special feature. Another special feature that I'm absolutely delighted about is on November 1st, we held an employee recognition ceremony and reception. We have a program in our organization where we recognize our employees that will go above and beyond throughout the year and truly made a difference. One of the things that we did about a year ago is we developed a program recognizing that there was a baseline way we wanted our employees to act, and those are the things that we learned in kindergarten. We want our employees to be nice to you. We want, when you contact the city, to have a good experience. So we should reward for what we expect. But what we do want to reward for is the things that our employees do that are above and beyond, because they recognize that they do make a difference and they want to make a difference. And it could be things like finding permanent solutions to problems, being an advocate for our customer, taking pride in what they do. And we had a lot of our employees recognized, and we've published a brochure. It's out on the website, www.rowlett.com, so you can read the personal stories of all of our employees and the great work that they do. And every time I have an opportunity to meet on a quarterly basis and reflect on the great work, I'm absolutely delighted at the quality of employees that we have. And this is an opportunity for us to feature some of their stories and tell you what they do, because I want you to be every bit as proud and delighted of the great staff that you have working for you every day as I am. So those are the two special features that we'll be doing in the month of November: work plan and review and our employee recognition program. So it's going to be some great programming in the month of November, Mayor, on RTN 16.
Well, we've got some really talented staff, and,
We really do.
and you know, and those folks, just to be clear, go the extra mile.
They do.
We are doing more with less than we ever have.
We've perfected the art of doing more with less.
We absolutely have, and I want to take an opportunity to thank all of the employees, because again, we are a service-driven organization.
Yes, sir.
They are our product, and at the end of the day, they do an outstanding job. So we want to
sure
take
do.
an opportunity to thank them.
I want to kick off the community interest section by talking about the City Managers Book Club. That happens the third Thursday of every month, and the November book selection is Indian Givers: How the Indians of the Americans Transformed the World by Jack Weatherford. That is going to be held Thursday, November 17th at 7 p.m. at the Rowlett Public Library. And the one thing that I do want to encourage folks is that we are a equal opportunity, gender-based book club. I don't want the men to feel like that they're not welcome, because we do have a diverse group, and the commitment that I have made to the men that are consistent participants in our book club is that we won't do the chicklet books. So we really work hard to have books that would appeal to all ages, and men and women. So we read a real diverse array of books, and the goal here is to encourage people to read things they wouldn't otherwise read. Oftentimes I have people ask, what happens at the book club? Well, we ask everybody that participates to have read the book, and then we have a series of questions that are really just intended to engage folks in dialogue, and we discuss the book. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to find out about the various opinions and what resonated with each of the readers, and we really do have a great conversation. I'm very respectful of your time, so it only lasts an hour. We start at 7 o'clock. We are done by 8. We do have cookies and drinks just to add ambiance, because I'm a firm believer if we're meeting, we're eating. So we do have a few little snacks. But I would encourage everybody that hasn't come, has an interest, please read the book. We'd love to have you.
That sounds wonderful. So if you're interested in attending, just show up.
Just show up.
Great.
That's it.
Can't be easier than that, can
That's it.
Now, we also have some other dates of interest that I also would like to share. Our city council meetings are on November 1st and 15th. Our planning and zoning meetings are on November 8th and 22nd. All meetings are broadcast live on RTN 16 and on Rowlett.com. So if you're interested, you can join us. It's also available, like I said, if you go to Rowlett.com, you can download anytime and watch it. Or you can join us in person. We'd love to have you in person, and that's at 4000 Main Street, our City Hall. Our City Hall offices are going to be closed for the following holidays. We have November 24th and 25th, December 23rd and 26th, and January 2nd, 2012. Hard to believe, say 2012, isn't it?
I know it.
And don't forget, we have our Veterans Day ceremony on November 11th, begins at 4:30. Our Holiday Parade and Festival on November 19th. Please turn out. It's a wonderful event to bring your kids. Again, as I mentioned before, bring your blankets, bring your chairs, and have an opportunity to stop by City Hall and look at the park as well. And our 2011 Light Up Maine event is going to be on December 3rd. And our PGB celebration, which was to be announced, is going to be has been postponed, but will be rescheduled for the spring. So we're certainly looking forward to that as well. Our volunteer banquet, Lynda, this is to thank all of the volunteers. We have a tremendous amount of volunteers in the city. That's going to be on December 1st at the community center. We cannot thank these folks enough, and I know you talked about that in your segment as well. But I think over $500,000 this year in volunteer hours.
In savings, that's exactly right.
It's amazing. So thank you. If you're interested in volunteering, just contact Denise Perrin at City Hall, 972-412-6100, and they can get you in touch with her. But there are lots of opportunities to serve. We don't need any special skill sets. You tell us what you'd like to do and what you're talented at, and we will find a place for you.
You bet.
So, in closing, I want to thank all of you today for who tuned in to today's program and are interested in staying in touch with your government. We love to hear from you. If you have any questions or concerns, or you'd like to email us or call us with your suggestions, we're looking to make our show better, and we'd love to hear from you. And thanks to our communications staff, Drew Rist and Denise Perrin, who assisted with today's broadcast. We look forward to seeing you again next month. So until next time, thanks for joining us on another edition of Rowlett on the Water, on the Move.